Hi everyone, welcome to Stars and Pearls. I'm Carlene Love. So happy that you found your way here. I hope you click like, subscribe, and share, and that you drop a comment in the comment section below. Let's dive into this video. It is part 3 on our clairs or our psychic senses. As I've explained in the previous two, our psychic senses, clairs means clear, clair means clear, are the higher vibrational part of our physical senses. So all our senses have a higher vibrational frequency as well, through which we also obtain information from the field around us. So Clairolfactance and Clairaugustance, or clairsalience as it used to be called, has to do with clear smelling, Clairolfactance, clairsalience, or clear tasting, Clairaugustance. And some people can do this really well. And I am aware of a friend of mine who is a medium, and whenever she tastes, for example, sugar in her mouth, she knows that this person had high blood sugar or was a diabetic. That's just how the information came to her. But taste and smell are closely linked. And without a sense of smell, you're not likely to taste a lot or taste much. So that's why I'm doing these two together in this video, because if you're a taster, then likely you're going to be smelling as well. Smelling is more common than the tasting. Even though, and it also, I find it depends on the type of spirits that come in or the type of place that you're in. It can happen, but it doesn't necessarily have to. And to train this ability, you can train it, you can focus on it, you can build it up, but it's a little bit trickier for whatever reasons than, for example, clairsentience, which also happens to go hand in hand with clairaugustance and clairolfactance. So it's one of those things, but we'll talk about it in this video. And yeah, you can share your experiences below. So a lot of you probably have smelled, for example, smoking. That's the most common one to connect with, is the smell of smoking, especially if someone was a smoker, someone deceased who enjoyed smoking, then we will often smell that smell of smoking. But I have to say that because this is an informational video, that if you're consistently smelling something and nobody else can smell it, then you might want to go get checked, because that is a sign for other things going on in your body. Okay. And you can look that up. You can, or go to your general practitioner. Okay. So anyhow, moving onward, and we know this is a psychic ability. Yeah, so smoking, cigarette smoke is probably one of the most common ones. The smell of roses, lavender, flowers, baking, if someone liked to bake, the taste of chocolate cake, a taste of sweets. That's another most of the Augustances that I've heard about and experienced. These are probably the most common ones that you're going to taste. There's also the taste of copper or blood, depending on how someone passed over or passed away, that people commonly connect to. The bitter taste lesser, the sour tastes, that's a good one to train with. So clairaugustance and clairolfactance usually connect with a clairsentience, so you get an instant flash or feeling in your body as well. Can tie in with claircognizance. They all play together, however they play for you. It's all individual, but usually these two senses usually go with one of the other ones. And so it's how do you train it? Well, various ways. You can, imagination is the bridge to the psychic world. And there's a difference between imagination and fantasy, even though we use the terms interchangeably, the two are completely different animals, right? So what's the difference? If you're fantasizing about something, you're usually using your mental and your willpower, your mental faculties and your willpower to dream up something that is meant to bring a balance to something that you feel that you lack. So, for example, you can, and it's also connected to powerlessness in the sense that fantasies are usually something that you know are never going to come about or never going to happen. So you fantasize, for example, that you're going to get married to that Hollywood star to elevate your sense of worth or being, or you fantasize becoming Miss Homecoming Queen or becoming Miss America, even though you know that you have a long way to go to actually get into that position or get into that place. You fantasize about running the corporation because you're all the way at the bottom and you feel like completely disregarded. So fantasies are seen in the occult, esoteric, and written about in the Bible as well as a misuse. This doesn't mean stop fantasizing and oh my God, and no. But when we're speaking about such things on these occult, esoteric levels, then it's more described as a misuse than an actual use of the creative principle and mental faculties that you have been given or gifted with. So imagination, however, is something else. Imagination is the bridge to the psychic realms through which you can be inspired, through which you can receive inspiration, through which you can receive answers and insights and all kinds of things. And that help you and the community that you're in. So it's not just, it brings you solutions to a problem that you might have or that you're focusing on. So imagination can show up, of course, in your dream state, but of course in your day-to-day where you're just playing around, crafting, and all of a sudden something just comes through out of the field, but it brings with it an expression or a solution or an answer or a creativity with it that actually can manifest, can come about if you put yourself into it, that can make something better for yourself or the world that you're in, that the people that are around you. It's not just based on a sense of lack in your emotional, mental field, okay? So even though we would use the two words interchangeably, they're very, very different as to intention and motivation, working with that creativity that we all have within us. Now, when it comes to training your Clairolfactance and Clairaugustance, you will need your imagination. So that means for example, imagine that you're tasting a lemon, that you're tasting that sourness in your mouth. And to strengthen that, you can, of course, purchase a lemon. You can go buy lemons. You can go but we probably all have tasted a sour lemon, so you can imagine that is what you're chewing down on. Your body will respond to it. You can imagine that you're smelling roses. You can look at pictures and imagine what would it smell like if you could smell that. You can pay attention to what you taste or what you smell when you're connecting with people or talking to certain people. For me, I noticed a couple of years ago that something opened up, and it was mainly that I could start smelling other people's thoughts. For whatever reason, it opened up, and it doesn't happen all the time, but when someone has extremely negative thinking or extreme low vibrational thoughts, maybe towards me, I'm guessing that's why it triggered as a kind of a warning. I don't know, but if someone has these extreme low level thinking, they start to smell like there's a smell associated with that for me. And I've spoken with other people about it, and they say they have it too. So I guess it's not just me, obviously. But for me, it was new, it was novel because I'd never had that, I'd never experienced that before. So the more you work with your senses, the more they will come alive, and you will become more sensitive, which has its own dangers, in air quotes, dangers, right? Which had its own things that you need to pay attention to, right? Because you want to become more sensitive, but at the same time, you want to understand that it's okay to shield yourself, protect your sensitivities, to not feel the full impact of certain things that you are perceiving. So What else can you do? You can ask spirit to help you. Like with all your clairs, you can ask spirit to help you to strengthen a sense of feeling or perceiving, to come in more clearly on that level, to really allow you to taste or smell what they're talking about so you can really get in that. You can ask for help. Meditation, of course, to clear your senses so that you're able to clearly perceive something, one specific thing. Focusing on your in your meditation on specific smells. So one time you're focusing on chocolate cake, then you're focusing on wet bricks, then you're focusing. So you're really training your mind to go there, to fall back on that, on your sense of smell and your sense of taste, to purvey information. Stay open to new things, try new foods, be totally open to trying new tastes, smell new smells. Every time you go into the perfume store or the shop or whatever, smell your way through different deodorants or whatever, but open your senses to a variety of information and stimulants. Get to know the various smells, such as know the difference between peppermint and vervain, for example. You can get into essential oils and start smelling your way through that. But mainly it is meditation, practicing with your imagination, and asking the spirits to help you develop that gift or develop that sense more, bring more information regarding smells, regarding taste to me, please. Again, be careful what you wish for because I'm sure you don't want to be able to taste everything. And it's quite an interesting journey to be on and go on. So this is a shorter video than the others because it's very straightforward. And again, these are usually senses that show up in addition to the other main three, which would be our main four: clairaudience, claircognizance, clairsentience, and clairvoyance. Okay, so those are the big four. These two usually show up with them in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, okay. All righty, thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.